superset. Tennessee coming off a split 2 weeks ago with South Carolina in Knoxville. They won the first match 3-1. They got swept in match 2. Also a bye week last week for Auburn. Their last time out, they lost at then third-ranked Kentucky November 7th and November 8th. Kentucky's moved up to number 2 in the latest national poll. Auburn will have the first serve. We are ready for volleyball on a Wednesday night at Auburn. Mahaffey, great save by Auburn to start things out. And that one's just long, and a point for the Tigers, a scrappy point for Auburn. Bella Rosenthal will put it into play for Auburn. Mahaffey. Blocked out of play, and Auburn's out to a quick lead for their first-year head coach, Brent Crouch, who spent the last 2 years at USC, went to the NCAA tournament a couple of times with USC. When we talk about systems and speed for Auburn, what should we look for here tonight, Katie?
Well, they're running a fast tempo with their freshman setter, Jackie Barrett. And, you know, when you take over a new program and you change everything that you're doing, whether that's defensive system, blocking system, offensively, the tempo that you want to go, there's going to be a learning curve to that, and it's going to take some time. And that's maybe why you see the record where it's at for Auburn. This is a rebuild for Brent Crouch. He says he loves the challenge of doing so. He says it does give him gray hair at times. He's done it before at Portland and a little bit at USC. But he loves Auburn and what this athletic department stands for, and it was a selling point for him, and so he's excited for the challenge, and we've already started to see some improvements from them from a blocking standpoint.
That will tie it up at 2. I think you'd get gray hair doing another rebuild. If you're doing a rebuild in a global pandemic, it's going to turn you a little white. He still looks pretty good, though. I'll give him that. I think he's overselling his gray hair, yes. Coulter puts it into play for Tennessee. There's Lily Feltz. Fight at the net, won by Mahaffey for Tennessee. And the Lady Vols have run off 3 straight points.
Really nice job there by Lily Feltz, going up and getting after it, going over top of the block. Bella Rosenthal with a nice dig there, just couldn't keep it on her side, results in an easy point off the overpass.
And a service ace for Tennessee. Eve Rackham-Watt's team has run off 4 straight points, 43 wins in her 3rd season now in charge of the Tennessee program. And a kill for the Lady Vols, put away by Ava Bell, the junior from Austin, Texas.
That's a great run by Tennessee. Good job managing the free ball situation. They run the gap set. Ava Bell goes wrist away, cutting it back to zone 5, beating the libero in Peyton White. Great execution by Tennessee.
5-0 run for the Lady Vols. Good effort, but finally the run ends, and a point for Auburn.
Good job there by Tatum Shipes on the outside, going against Danielle Mahaffey, pressing over on that block. It's an area that they've seen improvement, and it's going to have to continue as they move into the spring for the spring schedule that awaits them before an NCAA tournament.
Service error point, Tennessee.
Service error will give a point to Tennessee. Yeah, there's so many things that are being processed here, like we just talked about with Brent Crouch, trying to rebuild a program, coming over during COVID, and then you're playing an 8-game fall schedule, 8-match fall schedule, and then there's going to be a pause here for winter break as kids across the country, not just student athletes, but students at college campuses go home for Thanksgiving, and they're being asked to stay home after Thanksgiving. So these coaches won't have contact and won't have connections to their student athletes during winter break. They'll come back in January and start the spring schedule, and they're going to try to make it feel like they're not starting from scratch, I guess, Katie. That's going to be the big challenge, going home for winter break and coming back in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult task, I would say, sending your student athletes home during Thanksgiving and Christmas and trying to tell them, hey, take it easy on the holiday meals. When you come back, we've got some pretty important matches that we've got to go out and we've got to win and take care of because of this disjointed season. Yes, 8 games has flown by for this fall season in the SEC. When they come back, they've got another slate of 12 matches for the spring schedule before we'll see 48 teams selected for the NCAA tournament. And so it's a season and a year like we've never seen before, and they're all adapting on the fly and just doing the best that they can. But I'm just so glad to see volleyball matches of worth that have meaning be played right now in the fall.
Diving effort by Coulter, can't get there, and it's a point for Auburn. So after that 5-0 run for Tennessee, Auburn fighting back here, now down by 2.
And Auburn's fighting back here because they're putting the pressure on Tennessee from a serving standpoint. Tennessee needs to settle in, get up a good pass so that they can run their offense in system.
Tatum Shifes with the serve, and another point for Auburn.
Natalie Hayward there trying to be a little bit sneaky there. It was a tighter pass. She sends it over behind her head, just a foot too long or wide out of that sideline.
And Tennessee will get the point to go up by 2.
Net violation there by Auburn, but a nice job by Rocky Perinar going in, mixing up a short shot with the tip right over the block, just to keep the defense honest on that one. She's done a nice job adapting to her new role on this Tennessee team.
And we'll miss the mark, and Lily Feltz will serve again. I think both these programs, obviously you want to win some matches, but there's so much being put into developing players, trying to gear up as that's blocked out of play. To put Tennessee on top by 4. And certainly we've talked about it with Auburn, but Tennessee's got some youth. Eve Rackham-Watt in her 3rd season, still trying to firmly put her stamp on this program. Good swing and a kill for Auburn.
And that's what Brent Crouch is talking about with Jaden Brown. She used to play middle in all of her high school and club career, but look at this swing, how sharp she's able to cut that to left back. She's got so much power in that arm swing, and when you're lethal like that, you got to put that kind of arm on the outside because you're getting most of the sets throughout a volleyball match.
Another point for the Tigers to make it 10-8.
And you want to be a good blocking team, Eric. That's everyone's goal. But at the same time, you have to be terminal. And so if one of your best blockers happens to be your best chance at scoring points on the outside pins, like they have in Jaden Brown, that's why Brent Crouch has decided to make this transition. And it's a work in progress. To your point, with these teams having young players and in people in different positions this year, they didn't get a lot of time to train. I mean, their spring season where you do most of your individual training was completely wiped out. Then they come back to campus and they had to do some individual work before getting into the season. And so everything that you're used to doing and helping your players develop was completely thrown off with COVID-19. And so they're still trying to navigate their way through that currently through these 8-game seasons.
And I think we're seeing from Tennessee's point of view, Kaya Moore is on serving right now. She had only played 1 set in the first 6 matches of the year. So getting the freshman a chance to play here in set number 1. That one catches the tape, falls over. Big swing for the back line from who else but Lily Feltz, and a point for Tennessee.
And this is a nice job. Lily Feltz makes the dig. It's not a perfect pass by any means, but Hayward does a nice job getting her feet around it and sending her right back up. Look at that, going against a triple block. She finds the seam just barely, but places it deep enough in the court for the kill.
Service error for Moore, and that'll give a by 4.
Jackie Barrett, serve.
Hayward will try again. Another point for Tennessee. They're up and serving 14-9.
There's true freshman Jasmine Brooks, just being consistent. Nice shot there, finding the hands for the touch for one of her first kills of the match.
Haley Hayward in her first season for Tennessee after transferring over from DePaul. That's blocked out of play. And Auburn gets into double figures, now down 14-10.
Now entering the game for the Tigers, number 6, Bella Rosenthal. She will serve.
Bella Rosenthal, the junior from Indiana, will come in to serve for the Tigers. Deflected out of play and a point for Tennessee, and that will get us to our media timeout in the first set. 5-0 run in this first set helped Tennessee to jump out in front, now back up by 5 in Auburn.
And the sets are there.
To find out how you can support or to make a donation, visit
So as Auburn comes out, how about KG's keys for the Tigers?
Well, Auburn, in talking with Brent Crouch, he says they need to handle Tennessee's short serves. Tennessee is a team that likes to mix in short serves and hopes to get opposing teams out of system. He wants to see them anticipate those shorter serves and make sure they do a good job of handling those opportunities when they come. They need to slow down Lily Feltz. That's the second key. We know she's going to get her kills, but if you could just contain her, keep her out of finding a rhythm, that'll be helpful for Auburn as we go throughout this match. And then thirdly, Eric, they need to spy the gap-go combo. Tennessee likes to run Ava Bell, the middle number 20 up there, on a gap. That's a quick set a few feet in front of the setter, but then they set a go over top of it. So it's hard for blockers to determine who to jump with. So if they can spy that gap-go combo, Auburn feels like they'll be in good hands moving forward.
Auburn building a little momentum right now, Katie, as they've run off 4 straight points to bring it within 1.
And I think that the credit all goes to Peyton White here, putting the pressure on from her serve back there.
There's Feltz.
Field number 15, Lily Feltz, point Tennessee.
And this is what you need to see more of. A great pass that allows Natalie Hayward to set all 3 options. She goes with Lily Feltz, and if you see there, the block did not close. She had a seam to go right through it, and it results in an easy kill. If they're in system, they're able to do that more often than not. But these missed serves are just allowing Auburn to come back time and time again, Eric.
That's 3 service errors now for the Lady Vols, as Lauren Durrell ready to serve. Now Feltz now trying to warm up. That's going to be her 3rd kill in 10 swings.
Again, the pass allows Tennessee to side out effectively and quickly there. If this team can find a rhythm passing and not find themselves in ruts every now and again, I think we'd see a more efficient Tennessee team.
Taylor Shipes, point Auburn.
That'll be a point for the Tigers as Shipes gets the kill. Well, that's kind of been the theme in a broader sense too for Tennessee. They've had good first nights of matches, and then the next night they look like a different team, and that's hurt them when you take a look at their record on the season at 2-4.
I think Eve Rackham-Watt said, my team's going to kill me if they hear me say the word consistency one more time. But
yeah,
that's essentially what it is. You have to be the same team. Back row attack called there for Auburn.
Point Tennessee.
Results in a Tennessee point. But you have to be the same team night in and night out, especially in how they rework this schedule in the SEC, that you have to play back-to-back nights against the same team. And so if we could see more consistency from Tennessee, I think you'd see a different record.
in defense of these two programs, they have both played real challenging schedules. You know, Tennessee, when you look at their schedule so far, they've picked up a couple of wins. They knocked off Georgia. They knocked off South Carolina. They won the opening match, and then they were swept the next night against South Carolina. I mean, look what they played. Kentucky's now ranked second in the country. Georgia was nationally ranked. South Carolina has re-entered the top 15. They're now ranked number 13, and they wrap up the season against Auburn. Auburn's played a very similar schedule where they're playing nationally ranked teams, and this is tough when you're Tennessee trying to find that consistency, or you're Auburn, you're under a new coaching staff against some of the metal of the SEC.
Yeah, Auburn had a double whammy when the schedules came out. They had to play both Kentucky and Florida. And that is really, really tough. I think right now, if you see that footnote there, Auburn and Tennessee are tied for the third toughest fall schedule in D1. So it's baptism by fire for a lot of these players in these 8-game schedules.
And again, not every program is playing across the country in Division I. Some conferences are waiting to play a full schedule in the spring, but for the teams playing this fall, these two teams tied for the third toughest schedule. So Auburn gets another point here. Audrey Douglas, the freshman from Winter Park, Florida, bringing the Tigers within one. Deflected out of play, and a point for Tennessee.
And you heard Jackie Barrett sigh in exasperation after this one. You would have liked to have seen her just hold on to that, just get her hip around it and bring it back into the court. That was an off-speed shot from Lily Phelps that doesn't have often. You would have liked to have seen Jackie Barrett be able to control that one just a little bit more in that moment.
Dug out by White. Block back, and there's the Auburn block. We talked about that at the top of the telecast, how that's been a difference for Auburn. That's a statistical trend that's going upwards for the Tigers.
And that's a really nice job by Lauren Durrell, spying that right side set on the bump set, getting all the way out there and pressing over to seal the net.
Service error, point Tennessee.
So service error for Auburn, that's their third. We'll give the point to the Lady Vols.
Now entering the game for the Volunteers, number 3, Madison Coulter.
Now if you're Auburn, you need to settle in, get a good pass here, and side out immediately. If you're Madison Coulter, back to serve, you need to put together a couple of points back-to-back to go on a run here for Tennessee.
Good serve from Coulter. And Tennessee gets the point.
Nice job by Danielle Mahaffey, going up, recognizing an overpass, not trying to do too much. Haul off a big swing there, just goes up with two hands, throws it down for an easy point. Out of system.
Another good serve by Coulter. Auburn out of system, and Tennessee cashes in again. Ava Bell at the net.
Perfect pass, as you see here, the ACC and the Big 12 all had fall games played to some degree. The Pac-12 and the Big 10, two powerful conferences, are waiting to complete their full schedules in the spring, whereas the ACC, SEC, and Big 12 will complete and round out their schedules with a few matches, 12 at minimum, in the spring months before everybody hopefully gets to that point where they can embark upon the NCAA tournament.
That one's going to go out, and Coulter will have a chance now to serve for the set.
A nice job by Madison Coulter. She's put together a really good run here to close out this set, put the pressure on. She's kept Auburn out of system. Can she do it for one more final point?
Mahaffey sends it back to Coulter. Auburn stays alive in the first.
And that's a nice job by Auburn there. Jackie Barrett, the true freshman setter, pushing the tempo really fast to that pin to Tatum Shipes. Watch here, she's pushing. Look how low that set is. But when it's low and it's fast like that, it makes it really hard for a block to get closed in time to press over, and that's why you see that seam and gap created down the middle.
Set point number 2 for the Lady Vols. Phelps puts it away. Tennessee takes set 1.
Really nice job there.
Early, but came back. Katie, you
continue to play at this high level throughout the entirety of this night. Auburn better look out.
I think that's a big plus for Lily, and watching her play. When you look, she's listed at 5'11", but she plays bigger than that because she's got great vertical and she's always flying above the net, it seems. So she's maxing out, and she's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, she plays a lot bigger than that 5'11".
Yeah, she really does. And when you're smaller and you learn the game, there she is on cue. She knows we're talking about her. You have to learn different ways to score. And I think she does a great job of seeing the court, seeing the hands in front of her, and actually using that to her advantage. She gets a ton of her points from tooling the block, but I just think that she can always score in whatever scenario she's put in, and that speaks a whole lot about her game.
Here's Phelps, dug out by Auburn. Oh, good scramble by Phelps to keep it alive. Both teams with some pretty good defensive plays, and it ends up with a kill for the Tigers.
Nice job there by Jackie Barrett, recognizing she had a good pass right on top of her head. She runs Audrey Douglas, number 5, on a quick set out of the middle. Look at that, one-on-one. If Auburn can pass well in transition with their defense, I think that they need to go to that middle a little bit more.
Tennessee gets the point right back.
Another point right out of the middle for Ava Bell. Nice job there by Natalie Hayward, going to the 3 gap, a couple of feet away from her. It's almost like whatever you can do, Eric, I can do better. You're gonna run your middle? Oh, we'll run our middle too, and look what we can do.
There's an example of that short serve that you talked about at the time where you brought us KG's keys. Auburn thought they had it, but they could not stop Lily Phelps, who gets another kill.
And she's sucked inside because of the defense anticipating a roll shot, so she's not even able to get all the way out to take a full approach there, Eric, and yet she's still able with just 2 steps, powerful enough to be able to get that kill and bully it through the block.
Another kill for Tennessee.
And if you hear there, Natalie Hayward saying, come on, Rocky, get up, in the middle of that play, wanting to kind of push and force that middle in transition. If you can set your middle in transition, it is so hard for a defense to be able to defend because it's coming at you so fast at such sharp angles. So the more you can run the middle, the more dangerous of an offense you're going to have.
Tennessee's got a pretty good run going at the moment, with Bryant serving and that short serve, and the run continues.
Heads up play by Rocky Perinar, understanding that Natalie Hayward's dig was going to take her over to the net. She just bops it over on the second contact for the point.
That one's blocked out of play. That ends the run and gives a point to the Tigers. That's a 4-0 run.
Much needed there, Eric, by Tatum Shipe. She's got such a good line swing where she can cut it and tool it down the line off the right side blocker's hands. Auburn needs to go on a run here with their serve.
Number 15, Lily Phelps with the kill point, Tennessee.
Tennessee back on top by 4.
Volunteers, number 18, Gianna Pelizon. She will serve.
Well, the magic number for Tennessee when it comes to hitting has been 250. And they've hit 250 or better. They're 2-0 on the season. They've hit sub 250. They're 0-4. Right now, hitting at 280. Auburn gets that point.
nice run there by Auburn. They get the pass that they want. Jackie Barrett's able to push the tempo on the slide set behind her, and Chesney McClellan, the 6'4" senior, goes off 1 foot and hammers that one home.
Service error, point Tennessee.
It's the 4th service error for Auburn. And Lily Phelps will head back to serve. Team leader in kills the last 4 matches for the Lady Vols.
Jaden Brown with the kill, point Auburn. Now into the game, the Tigers.
Brown gives a point to the Tigers.
And there's that power that Brent Crouch is talking about. He says she hits it harder than anyone in our gym. In that moment, she's able to tool the block well outside the court for the point. It's a work in progress with Brown on the outside, but I think Crouch is on to something here. They haven't even just scratched the surface with her yet.
Tennessee was ready for her that time.
And it's so difficult, Eric. It's so difficult to make the transition from middle blocker where you're used to just go, 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 so fast with all of your sets. On the outside, you gotta wait a little bit longer, and you're getting sometimes trash sets, right, when you're out of system, and so you gotta manage so many more things because as a middle blocker, you're usually getting a perfect set in a perfect situation, and now with Brown transitioning to the outside pin, so many more sets and balls are coming her way, and so this is a whole new world for her, but they said that she did a really nice job against Kentucky 2 weeks ago, and so it's just only gonna continue to grow.
Heady play by the junior setter, Natalie Hayward, who drops it in for a Tennessee point. So what's an easier transition, Katie, going from the middle to the outside or vice versa?
I would think going from the outside to middle is easier. Going from middle to the outside is so much more difficult just because of the sheer amount of volume.
Phelps with the kill.
By Lily Phelps there, coming out of the back row. When you're a middle, you're getting the ball in perfect situations. When you're to the outside, you're getting it in every situation.
Timeout is called by Auburn. Tennessee up by 5 and up a set on the road. We have an early update on KG's Keys and how it's playing out so far in Auburn.
Well, the first one for Tennessee was to serve aggressively, and you see the 1 ace, but you also see the 5 service errors. And it's a bit of risk reward, right, when you're trying to attack from the service line. There's going to be some errors that come with going hard back there and trying to put the pressure on serve receivers. So you will see some errors. Nice job there by Audrey Douglas out of the middle. Terminating efficiently was another one. We're seeing Tennessee hit around 300 right now, although they have 8 unforced errors. I'm sure Eve Rackham-Watt would like to see them clean that up. And then if you're Auburn, Brent Crouch had said we need to contain Lily Phelps to a degree. And right now she's got 10 kills on 16 attempts. I don't think that's what he means by contain or slow her down.
No.
Attack error, point Tennessee.
Phelps in the double.
Number 3, Madison Poulter to serve.
Good challenge by Rackham-Watt.
We talked about the serve as one of your keys. Tennessee had good timing on their serve. Coulter, remember, was serving towards the end of the first set. She went on a pretty long service run to give Tennessee that big lead. They ended up winning 25-20.
Madison Poulter to serve.
Coulter trying to back it up here again. She cannot. Service error number 6 for the Lady Vols.
I think that one's on you. I think you jinxed her. I think you need to raise your hand on that one.
My hand is up, but just let the record show that I was praising her serve in the first set and that she was doing well in the second set. I'm still ahead. That one's blocked out of play, and Auburn's got back-to-back points.
Nice job there by Tatum Shites, tracking that right side set, getting her hips square to the court to finish that block in. Now if you're Auburn, use that momentum here. Use that momentum to go on a run and close this gap of 4 points.
And a violation called on Auburn will give Tennessee the point.
Number 12, Madison Bryant to serve.
So Madison Bryant, the sophomore from Anderson, South Carolina, in the libero role tonight. That one right at Bryant. Couldn't get it, and the point goes to Auburn.
Really nice job there by Auburn, sticking the pass, putting it right on top of Jackie Barrett's head. She goes with the quick set to Chesney McClellan there in the middle. It happened so fast in the blink of an eye. Really nice job there.
They'll reset it for Feltz, but she missed the mark. Point Auburn.
Attack violation, point Auburn. Lori Dorrell to serve.
That won't happen too often with Lily Feltz.
You could see it in her face. She wasn't happy with it either.
Service error, point Tennessee.
Fifth service error for Auburn.
Now entering the game with volunteers, number 18, Gianna.
It's just when Auburn breaks Tennessee's serve, they shoot themselves in the foot and give them the ball right back. They need to value these possessions a little bit more, capitalize on them. Here's a perfect example. A missed serve, you're down by 3. Value these possessions here. Go on a run with your serve. Put the pressure back on Tennessee in this moment.
Tatum Shipes. Good dig by White for Auburn.
Point Tennessee.
Point for Tennessee.
Nice job by Natalie Hayward communicating as the setter to Rocky Perinar to get up in that moment. They're running a little bit like a 1.5, if you will. It's not a true quick set. Rocky Perinar used to be an outside hitter, so it's a little bit higher. She's able to tip that one right down the line. But if you notice, Lily Feltz was no longer an option. She was standing right behind Rocky Perinar. So good job by Hayward running the show out there, showing her leadership and talking and communicating throughout these plays.
Good block by Auburn, a point for the Tigers.
Number 14, Katie Persons. Now serving for the Tigers, Katie Persons.
Auburn averaging nearly 2.5 blocks per set, good for 4th in the conference. They had 17 blocks at South Carolina, which set a new program record for a 4-set match. Auburn just can't get on a scoring run right now. Back down by 4. Kaya Moore back on the serve.
Free ball situation.
Ooh. Bryant. Hayward rather drops it in for Tennessee. The setter with the kill.
Great timing there. I love it when the setter is active and scores her own points. A great pass by Feltz. That's exactly what you want as a setter in the front row. Flirt with a tight set. At least flirt with it just a little bit so I can go up and make the most of it.
Here's the freshman setter for Auburn, Jackie Barrett to serve.
Attack arrow, point Auburn.
Point for the Tigers.
I think that's a good thought there by Hayward, pushing it to Ava Bell. I think that one, Eric, was just a little bit too low. Ava Bell wasn't fully able to extend her arm swing there. She pushes it long.
Tennessee answers back with Bell.
I love that too. You have a hitter that makes a hitting error. You go right back to them. Wash out the mistake, get them a kill, get their confidence back to where it was. I really like when setters repeat to a hitter to cancel out a mistake or a miscue.
Good set for Durrell with the hammer.
Woo-wee!
The Tigers number 6,
from Natalie Hayward. I'm telling my block, help me out a little bit, right between the hands of Danielle Mahaffey. Huge swing by Lauren Durrell.
Tennessee gets it right back. Bell now with 5 kills.
Now hearing for the Volunteers, number 3, Madison Coulter. She will serve.
Ava Bell's dealt with some injuries in the past. Eve Rackham-Watt said this is the most healthy she has been in her career at Tennessee, and she's definitely playing like it.
Kill for Auburn.
Great run there by Jackie Barrett. She goes to Audrey Douglas on a quick 1 set right behind her head. She brings Douglas right off of her back hip. Just to move her a little bit away from the block there, results in a nice kill.
I mentioned Bell. She had an ankle injury that required surgery. Point goes to Tennessee. Barrett had an ankle injury at the start of the fall season, but now the starting setter for the 5th straight match for the Tigers. There you see Ava Bell. Point for Tennessee. They're up by 5 here in the second. Timeout being called by Auburn.
That was a nice job by Tennessee. Lily Felch just does a great job being the off blocker, playing good defense, putting Natalie Hayward in a position to run the middle or the right side. Resulted in a nice kill by Danielle Mahaffey. I just think that the SEC continues to grow as a conference, and it's on a freight train in terms of trajectory right now as being one of the best to be able to contend with a Big Ten or a Pac-12.
And just to follow up that point about Brent Crouch leaving the West Coast, leaving LA and USC to go to Alabama. Tennessee gets the point out of the timeout because, like you said, the conference is on the rise and there's room for growth. You know, there's still, he looks at it and is like, wow, there's still more that could be done here. And that was one of the key reasons why he decided to head to Auburn. Another kill for Tennessee. They're on a run now in the second set, up 7.
That's just a really nice job. Lily Phelps again, she scoots all the way into the court. She's able to pass that ball up right to Natalie Hayward, who in turn runs Rocky Perinar right out of the middle on a quick set. That's worked time and time again for Tennessee this evening.
Perinar with 6 kills, hitting 600 as we play in the second set. Worked out pretty well for Auburn. Shipes has put up some good numbers here.
That's just a good job by Shipes, recognizing the situation. She's a little bit out of system. It's a high set off the net. Rather than trying to bury it into the middle of the court, she just swings high and deep. It results in a kill.
6 kill to lead the team. And Tennessee comes right back, kill of their own, and they've got a set point here in set 2.
Now entering for the Volunteers, number 18, Gianna Pelizon. She will serve.
Pelizon will come on to serve. Blocked back for the set for Tennessee.
Nice job by Rocky Perinar. She recognizes that they're going to go to the slide.
Now serving number 3, Peyton White.
Peyton White will serve it for the Tigers. Set by Jackie Barrett, the freshman. Oh, it's a challenge for a freshman to jump into the SEC, but she went for 35 assists against South Carolina, 23 assists last match against Kentucky, the team that's now ranked 2nd in the country. So her trial by fire has gone pretty well here for Auburn as she learns to play center in the SEC.
And Brent Crouch said he was most impressed by Jackie Barrett's composure and just the poise that she plays with. You know, when you send a freshman out there, you don't exactly know how they're going to react to the big moments, the bright lights. And he said, Jackie Barrett, when we put her out there, she responded in a good way. She was dumping. She was trying to score points and being active in the front row. And when you see that, it's a really, really good sign. And so they're confident in her abilities. They're confident in her pushing the tempo. And there you can see the difference with Jackie Barrett and without. She definitely improves Auburn's chances when on the floor.
Barrett, one of those West Coast kids from Highland, California. Made her debut against South Carolina on October 28th after being slowed by the ankle injury. Good block by Auburn to get the point.
Jackie Barrett, point Auburn. Lauren DeWitt to serve.
Just a really nice job by Chesney McClellan recognizing and reading that that set was going to go to the outside. Both blockers get up in time right in front of Lily Feltz.
Barrett there helping as well, and a timeout called by Tennessee early here in the third set. After the Tennessee timeout here in the third set, Auburn ready to serve. No one there after it was dug out after the Feltz contact, and Tennessee makes it 5-3.
Now entering the game for the Volunteers, number 23, Jasmine Brooks. Now serving
Lily Feltz.
Lily Feltz
will head back to serve for the Lady Vols. Pinballed around and out of play, and another point for Tennessee.
Lily Feltz to serve.
Jackie Barrett going to the slide here to McClellan. Just a great job by Rocky Perner. She doesn't make it all the way out there, but she just stops, presses over, gets the block there.
Now entering the game for the Tigers, number 8, Jaden Brown.
Auburn side out. Holding on to a slim lead here in the third set. And there's the freshman with a heady play. Barrett with the kill, and Auburn's up by 3.
First time we've seen Barrett tip over on the second contact. Nice job just keeping the defense honest, going right to the donut in the center of the court. Heads up play there by the freshman.
But then a service error for Auburn gives the free point to Tennessee. And that's something that Brent Crouch was talking about with this team. You can look at little micro things. Like they can point out in the Kentucky match, they got swept by Kentucky, one of the best teams in the country, but there were things that they did in that match where they show them on film like, look, you did that once, you can do that again, and you find those little victories and try to build on them.
And
That'll be a point for Tennessee.
Trying to put those together time and time again, Eric, right?
Right.
You can see little things, little improvements, but can you do that every single play, back to back, consecutively, in a row? And that's where you'll see teams really make huge growth.
Well, we're seeing some growth right here as the freshman Kaya Moore has back-to-back aces for the Lady Vols.
And she's been a bright spot coming in to serve throughout this evening's match.
Good dig by Feltz. That'll be another point for Tennessee and for Natalie Hayward.
Jaden Brown actually spies it. She recognizes that Hayward's going to take it over. She just doesn't press over in time. So she's on her way up there. Hayward able to beat her by touching it first.
Hayward with 29 assists and 3 kills. That one will drop in. The run continues for Kaya Moore.
Really nice
When you're
effort
hot,
there
you're
by
hot.
Auburn. You are, and she is right now. And that's something that Brent Crouch had kind of mentioned coming into this game is Tennessee's a team that mixes in these short serves. One goes long there, but it's hard to manage and anticipate a short serve and then stay in system. And so it's something they talked about. You know, he's scratching his head thinking, come on, we've talked about this. That was on the scouting report. We can't get aced on those situations.
Katie Persons comes in to serve. And miss hit by Brooks gives a point to Auburn.
Katie Persons to serve.
That one will drop in for Persons.
Katie Persons to serve.
4 aces now for Tennessee. For Auburn, rather. 1 ace for Auburn, 4 for Tennessee. I'll get it right. Point Tennessee.
Point Tennessee.
Great job here by Tennessee, receiving the ball by Lily Feltz, a gap set. Super fast, barely above the tape of the net. Ava Bell's up and ready for it, waiting to receive it. Great shot, cut back cross court.
And a service error.
Point Auburn.
That's going to be the 12th for Tennessee.
Yeah, and it's just hard to find a rhythm, Eric, and go on a run here. It just feels like this game has been choppy and the momentum's gone back and forth, in part because of the missed serves.
Oh man, I wish your camera was on at that point so we can just take the shot of you, just have Daniel, who's directing it, and I just pop you up there as you're buried your head in your hands. It's frustrating.
It is. You're given a gift and you turn around and you give it right back in a moment where if you're Auburn, you need every point you can get in this moment if you're going to extend this match beyond 3 sets.
Tennessee in front by 1. Feltz now with 15 kills.
The question is, can she get 4 more to tie her career high?
She'll have to wait, but the point does go to Tennessee. Most recently, she got to 19 kills in the win over South Carolina. The last time out against South Carolina, Feltz had 18 kills. She hit .444. It was a 3-set loss, mind you, so she had 18 kills in the 3 sets and had 11 kills in the 3rd set. She put Tennessee on her back, trying to lead them back against South Carolina.
Point Tennessee.
And she's doing it again here on the road against Auburn. Timeout called by the Tigers as Lily gets another kill.
Hayward doing a nice job pushing the tempo there. And look, she just goes high hands right over.
Kills for the 5th consecutive match. Perinar has 7 kills. She's second right now in the Lady Vols, and she's hitting at 500. Not to get lost in the Lily Feltz shuffle here. Bell with the 6 kills, hitting 364. So out of the Auburn timeout, Tennessee a chance to add to their lead. They do.
Point Tennessee. Madison Coulter to serve.
Been quiet night for Mahaffey, but she does have 7 kills. And breakdown on the other side for Auburn, and Tennessee stretches it out to a 5-point lead.
So there's a moment where you see a true freshman, Jackie Barrett, hoping that somebody's going to help her out, and Jaden Brown right next to her. As she gets older, matures, nobody's touching that ball but Jackie Barrett. You need to call him off. That's your job. Second contact is yours. Set up Jaden Brown in that moment.
Great reaction by Tennessee to get it over. But Auburn beats the block. It's a point for Durrell.
Nice job by Durrell here on the outside for the first swing. Good set by Peyton White with the platform. She comes all the way in. Mahaffey's on her way down on the block. She's able to catch her hands for the kill.
4th kill for the senior. Answered right back by Brown.
Nice job there by
By
Ava
Bell,
Bell.
rather.
Point Tennessee.
Good job on the quick set. Good pass, pushing Natalie Hayward forward in the court. Ava Bell able to keep up with her. Quick tempo, good shot.
Dug out by Coulter. Bryant got that one, but Tennessee couldn't control it, and Auburn gets a much-needed point.
Now in the game for the Tigers.
Nice try by Bryant getting her platform underneath it. But it's Shipes who ends up getting the kill. Come on, Hayward, you're right there. But they'll give you a gift back.
Service error, point Tennessee.
Service error number 8 for Auburn.
In the game for the Volunteers, number 18, Gianna Pelizon. She will serve.
Pelizon will come on to serve for Tennessee. They won set 1 25-20, hit 205 in that set, hit 400 in set 2, winning 25-17. And they're up by 5 here in the 3rd.
Free ball for Auburn. Great run. Really nice job there by Peyton White, controlling that free ball, placing it right on top of Jackie Barrett's head. She runs Chesney McClellan on the 1 set here. This is textbook. She goes right over the top of 2 blocks as well. Great kill by her.
Dropped over by Auburn's McClellan.
Back-to-back kills for McClellan, one with the powerful shot over the block. There she mixes in a tip, throws it a little bit deep past the donut. Still results in a nice kill.
Chesney, the senior from Knoxville, taking on the team from Knoxville in Tennessee. And Feltz, who's also from Knoxville, with the kill.
Great pass by Tennessee. Really good run by Natalie Hayward, keeping it in tempo. And watch this here. Lily Feltz goes up. She's able to get it. Look at that seam. Beautiful job by Natalie Hayward. Able to push that tempo to create that. Feltz able to see it with great vision. Nice job pushing it through.
That's 4 straight points for Knoxville kids. Feltz with the ace.
Lily Feltz to serve.
Out of system.
Hammered down by the freshman Brooks.
She's laughing. A little bit of a miss. Nice cut by her. Down the line. Good job by Hayward sending this thing all the way out to the pin. And look at that. Just a sharp, sharp cut down the line. Catches the line digger off guard.
Timeout called by Auburn, now down by 6 in the third set. Every Saturday morning, we get you ready.
Some havoc when we get to the spring schedule, but part of those headlines, one that we did not get to see, sadly, as Lily Phelps misses her serve there coming out of the break, and she says, oh my God, she's very upset.
Katie George is going to be so upset with me when I watch this broadcast back. I don't know if that's exactly what she was saying right there. I'm just going to paraphrase. It was in that ballpark.
You know what? I love it, though. I love that intensity. I love when people are upset after mistakes. You can tell she's fiery, she's passionate, she cares. And that's what you want in a player, in your leader, in a teammate. You want them to care and be upset in that moment. She is, and power to her for that. But now the question is, can she stick in here? Don't dwell on it. Come back here and stick this pass.
Tatum Shipes to serve for Auburn, trying to hang around here in this best of 5. Well, the serve is going to be the big story. That was one of your keys coming in. The service errors for Auburn are high at 9. Tennessee's got 13 service errors, but to offset that, Katie, they have 7 aces.
We've almost seen an entire set in missed serves this evening.
I was hoping you weren't going to do that math. I didn't want to upset you.
Oh, I did it quickly.
You and the coaches both. There's the kill for Jaden Brown.
Nice job pushing the tempo here. She cuts it down the line. Keying in on Natalie Hayward's hands there to tool the block.
Couldn't handle the heat from Phelps, who gets the kill. And Tennessee's up 23-18.
Back row attack there results in Phelps' 18th kill of the match. I don't know if she's going to tie her career high at 19 being in the back row. They could run her another time. But opportunities dwindling as they close in on match point.
Dropped in by Ava Bell, and it is match point for the Lady Vols.
Just great heady play there by Ava Bell, recognizing she was a little bit tight and low on that set, just placing it right over top of the block, just to move and suck the defense in, results in a kill.
Natalie Hayward serves.
Good set.
Auburn hanging around thanks to Jaden Brown.
Now serving for the Tigers, number 10, Jackie Barrett.
Jackie Barrett serving to try to keep Auburn going in this match. Blocked out of play, and that will do it. The Tennessee Lady Vols get the sweep in match number 1 of the series at Auburn. 25-19, the final in set 3. Lily Phelps comes up 1 kill.